There's something about the word coach. Am I a coach? Can I call myself a coach? Don't I need a certification for that? Like, aren't there more credentials or things that I need? And even if I don't need credentials, how can I just step out and start calling myself a coach? I have a client that is a business coach, and she helps other women doctors start lifestyle medicine practices. When she came to me, one of the things that she said was, yes, I have made money in my business in lifestyle medicine, but I don't know that I'm ready to coach someone else. I don't know. There's something about the word coach. Am I a coach? Can I call myself a coach? Don't I need a certification for that? Like, aren't there more credentials or things that I need? And even if I don't need credentials, how can I just step out and start calling myself a coach, right? So I hear that so much. I have actually had people, and I see this all the time. I see it from women doctors as well. We are coaching, right? But we don't want to call ourselves a coach, or we are selling our coaching or attempting to sell our coaching, but we don't want to call ourselves a coach. We are calling ourselves everything except being a coach. I have heard strategist. I have heard guide. I have heard things like I'm your mentor. I'm your teacher, whatever it is, but I don't want to use the word coach. There's something about the word coach in the doctor community where there's a little bit of a stigma. I think that coaching is very prevalent in the doctor community. And so we see doctors who are coaches, or we see doctors being coached, right? And we think it's for them. We think it's for those people. And we don't think that we quite measure up to that. I can't be a coach like that person. Yeah, that's great for them, but not me, right? Not me. Like, this is not available to me, or there's certain hurdles I have to jump through, or things I would have to prove to my community, right? In order for me to feel worthy of calling myself a coach, right? And part of this comes from the place of we don't want, like, it comes from a good place in terms of we never want to harm people. That's always our default as doctors, is do no harm. We have taken an oath. We have done training, right? In everything we've done in our careers, there have been hurdles. There have been steps. There have been things that we have had to do to prove ourselves. We have spent our entire lives proving ourselves since kindergarten. Literally, since kindergarten, we've been trying to prove ourselves that we can do this, right? Like, our existence and our forward movement was depending on someone looking at us and deeming us worthy. That is what the educational system is, right? And it goes to another level once you get to undergraduate, right? Because not only do I have to prove myself on the test or prove myself in the term paper, but then I also have to, like, shuck and jive and do the dance and do the thing so that I can get letters of recommendation, right? So again, someone else, right? I have to rely on someone else to deem me worthy of moving forward, to say, yes, you are ready, let's go, right? And then there's a whole committee in medical school. I served on that committee, right? There's the admissions committee in medical school where their entire job is to determine, to sift through all of the people who are applying and determine who's ready to move forward. Who do we put our stamp of approval on? Who do we knight and say, yes, that person is ready? And that committee is made up of people who are, essentially judging us. They're judging us, right? They're reviewing our personal statements. They're reviewing our letters of recommendation. They're reviewing our grades, right? And then they deem us worthy. There's all these people, right? There's the CCC, right? The Clinical Competency Committee, looking at my work, deeming whether or not I am competent and capable to move forward. There's chief residents. There's like all these gatekeepers. There's these folks, right? And we understand why that is, and it makes sense for that system. But all I'm saying is we carry that into our businesses. We carry that into our businesses. Of course we do. That is literally how our brains are wired. At this point, our brains are wired that way. We are wired for proving ourselves, right? We are wired to jump through hurdles. We are wired as like, if I have a goal, if I have something I want to do, there are gatekeepers along the way. There are people judging me. There are lots of steps I need to take, right? And so we come into our businesses and we want to call ourselves a coach. But how can I call myself a coach? I couldn't call myself a doctor. I couldn't just call myself a doctor. There were all these steps I have to take, right? So we want to call ourselves a coach, and we want to coach, and we know we can do it. That's the thing, right? We know it's inside of us. We know that it's available to us. We know that there's something we can help other people do, but the label, sometimes it's like just the label of coach and embodying being a coach. Embodiment is one of those words that's like, what does that even mean? I don't like using those kind of fluffy words unless I let y'all know what I mean, right? So like, how do I become a coach? How do I actually do the actions of a coach that are worthy of the title, right? And so what we think is there must be other things I have to do. There must be other people who have to deem me worthy. Who have to deem me worthy. And there's entire industries set up for this, right? And I'm not saying that they're like preying on doctors. Like, doctors are competent, capable, and qualified enough. Like, if you believe that you want to take that step to get extra certified, right? I think that that's fine. Definitely do that, right? But what if I just want to propose a different way of thinking about things, right? Yes, I understand like where it came from. I get why we have that mentality. But what if we have already done the work? What if we have already been certified? What if the hoops have already been jumped through because of the fact that we have achieved the transformation that we are helping someone else to achieve? There are no additional hurdles. We have already done it. We've already done it. Now the work is to learn how to sell, learn how to market, and then to take that intellectual property that's in our brain and download it so that we can teach it to someone else, right? So I'm not saying that there's no work you have to do. That's the work we do inside of DCS, right? Here's an example. When you join DCS, the expectation and the way I treat my clients is that they are coaches. There are no additional steps they have to take in order to become coaches. They are already coaches. They're already there. I interact with my clients as coaches. There's an expectation in DCS when you join that you will peer coach your peers, your sisters in the mastermind, right? That you will show up for them when they are in the what we call the den of despair in DCS, right? When they're struggling or they're lacking in belief, that you will show up and coach them because that's what coaches do. There's also an expectation in DCS that you will coach yourself. And I give you the tools and the principles to do that. Like we talk about, and I walk you through exactly how to do that, right? But that is the expectation, because to me, when you come inside of DCS, you are already a coach. By virtue of the fact that you decided intentionally to take the step to help someone else achieve the transformation that you have achieved, you are already a coach. There's nothing else you have to do to become a coach. You're a coach. Now we take the steps to learn how to sell, learn how to market, download our intellectual property, right? Turn it into a framework and teach it to someone else. But you're already a coach. And that is how my messaging and my marketing and my thoughts about my clients are so different, right? My clients join and they start making money, right? Because we are coaches and that is what we do. So yes, there are still things you have to learn, but you do not have to. There's no other hoops or hurdles or anything else you have to do to become a coach. You are her. You are a coach already. You already are. You already are.